What is going on, everybody? It's the Johnson for Smackdown Live review for April 23rd, 2019. Smackdown Live had a couple interesting things. We had a Superstar Shakeup continue. I guess Superstar Shakeup not just for one straight week, as we had Cesaro, Samoa Joe, and others join Monday Night Raw on Monday. And last night we had Jinder Mahal and the Stings come back to SmackDown. Whoopee! Along with Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, and Andrade are back on SmackDown, so we'll talk about that when it gets to it. I see we have ourselves two title matches setting up for Money in the Bank. We do have Becky Lynch playing double duty, which I knew this where they were going with this, as well as it looks like the first challenger for Kofi Kingston is going to be happening. Well, that was done by the end of the night. And SmackDown, of course, had a pretty good show, definitely. The Iconics, of course, look like the worst thing out there again. Aleister Black with a cryptic promo, which I don't know what that's going to be. Maybe going to be a heel coming in the SmackDown Live. It's what it feels like. That's where that's going. And WWE decided to go and rehash what they did with Roman Reigns before, and we're going to do the Authority versus Roman Reigns again. Shane comes out from the beginning of the show, says he doesn't have a lot of time and he's not in a good mood, so he needs Greg Hamilton to make the grand introduction. A good one, the first one. Shane brings up how Roman, and he does, so the grand introduction was up to par for Shane McMahon, so there was that. Shane brings up how Roman hit his father last week. Shane calls for footage to be played, and he warns us that it was hard to watch and made him sick. We see a replay from last week where Vince introduced Elias into the Superstar Shakeup. Yay! And how Reigns interrupted to eventually drop Vince and Elias, declaring that SmackDown is his yard now. Shane asks what kind of man hits a man's father, when I'm like, did you just pretend like the last 2 months didn't exist? Because you were beating up on Miz's father from Fastlane all the way to WrestleMania. So that was just like, really? It's disgusting. Shane says Vince is one of the greatest men who ever lived. Not really. He's like a national treasure. Shane says Roman hitting his dad was like disgracing the American flag, defacing Mount Rushmore. Shane goes on about Roman hitting his dad and says there will be repercussions. Shane has been thinking a lot about them. Should he levy a major fine? Should he suspend? Should he terminate or fire? Shane says maybe his emotions are getting the best of him, and he's a little amped up now. Shane says he will going to do things a little different and settle in the ring right now. Shane says it's time for Roman to get his butt out here, and that's not a request, it's an order because Roman works for him and his family. Shane orders Roman to the ring, the music hits, and out comes Roman. So again, like before, we have Roman, WWE doing everything they can to get Roman not to be booed. It's okay to boo. It's okay, absolutely 100% okay to boo Roman. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. It's okay. It's okay. Joe Alawale beat cancer. This is not Roman. Roman Reigns is the character. You can boo Roman all you want. Just let it out there. If you feel like you have to cheer him because he beat cancer, it's okay. It's okay to boo this man. Roman hits the ring. He throws down the mic. Shane throws down his mic. And they square up. Elias tries to attack from behind, but Reigns rocks him on the apron. Shane attacks Reigns from behind and unloads with strikes. Roman fights him off and rocks him with the right hand. Reigns unloads on Shane in the corner until Elias decks Reigns from behind. Elias and Shane double team Roman now as the fans boo. Chance for Reigns as Elias works him over while Shane holds him. Elias nails a drift away, leaves Reigns laid out as he and Shane head to the back as Elias music hits and Reigns covers in the ring. So again, why are we again rehashing the Roman Reigns versus Authority storyline? It didn't work last time, and you think, oh, just because he's not getting booed at this time, he's not going to get booed again. Go back and watch WrestleMania. Go back and watch the night after WrestleMania. This dude got booed out of the building. And the fact that WWE wants to sit there and have Roman Reigns go up against the Authority again, I have no words for it. This is absolutely just ridiculous. The fact that WWE again is going and reaching into the cookie jar of against the Authority. This time instead of Vince, it's Shane McMahon. It's going to be Elias versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania at Money in the Bank. So I'm hoping we won't ever see the Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon match. I feel like they're going to go down that road. We see Kevin Owens, who is an honorary member of the New Day last week with Big E with an injury. Caleb Braxton is backstage with Kofi Kingston. He talks about tonight's singles match with Shinsuke Nakamura and how the love and magic from WWE Universe is still growing every single day. And all is right in the world because he's WWE Champion. Xavier Woods appears and hypes him up. Kofi talks about how Big E is healing and he will be back soon enough. But until then, we have an honorary member, Big O. Owens appears and hypes up Kofi for tonight with the match. Owens says, I know you're going to win this night match. And the reason that is because New Day rocks, does his best Big E, and they move on. We have Finn Balor versus Andrade. 2 weeks ago, during the Superstar Shakeup, or last week during the Superstar Shakeup, we had Finn Balor facing off against Andrade because Andrade was coming to Raw. And people were wondering, why is Andrade back on SmackDown? 2 reasons. One, Charlotte Flair has a ring on her finger, on her wedding finger. And the other one is because Fox does want some Latino superstar on SmackDown Live to appease those fans because they want to use and highlight the Latino superstars on FS, like the Fox Sports Latino, and that's why they are on. That's why they came back, and of course, and the reason why Aleister Black is on SmackDown is because WWE wants to keep couples together. When it feels like the last time we had a brand split and they were doing the draft, every time WWE would do a draft, they would split couples up. So there you go. We had Andrade versus Finn Balor. This was another good match between these two, harkening off what they did before. Balor ends up winning this one after Andrade blocks a sling blade and rocks Balor in the corner. Andrade with a running double knees in the corner for a close 2 count. Balor ends up blocking the hammerlock DDT and hitting a sling blade. Vega goes up top, but leaps to do a crossbody onto Balor, but Balor moves. Andrade catches her. He puts her down. Balor with the drop kicks the shotgun drop kick, sending Andrade into the corner. Goes up, hits the coup de grace for the 1, 2, 3. Finn Balor, gotta love that 50-50 booking WWE loves to put. After the match, Balor stands tall as his music hits, and we go to replays. We see Elias backstage playing his guitar, sings a challenge to Roman Reigns for a one-on-one match at Money in the Bank. Elias says he's money in the bank. He's money in the bank. Shane appears and loves the song. Shane makes the match at Money in the Bank. Shane guides Elias into the back for his limousine, and they're on to hang out. Kairi Sane versus Peyton Royce. As I always say, when the Idiotics are on TV, I am thankful for the mute button. I might not be watching this live when it happened, but I am thankful for the mute button nonetheless. Or, in this case, I am thankful for the skip button. Back from break, and we see the earlier backstage segment of Saw Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville warn Paige not to come asking for them and for an Absolution reunion when the team of Kairi Sane and Asuka fail. Which it's only been 2 weeks, so we're gonna have to wait and find out. We go back to the ring, and out comes Women's Tag Team Champions, the Idiotics. Peyton Royce with Lily Kay. They cut a promo on why the ring, on the way to the ring to insult Sane and Asuka. Ugh. Bell rings. This is literally, I'm looking at this. This is literally the match. Bell rings. Royce unloads on Sane in the corner. Royce keeps control until Sane catches a kick, hits the Dragon Screw leg whip. Sane with some more offense, intercept the spear, up top with the running forearm in the middle, in the corner, up top for the insane elbow for the 1, 2, 3. The Iconics, the Idiotics, won the titles at WrestleMania. They did not show up on Monday night after WrestleMania, did they? I don't think so, no. The next night, on Tuesday, they faced, in a tag team championship match nonetheless, Jobbers. Beat them handily. They have lost every single match after that. Can someone explain to me why the Iconics are even the women's tag team championship champions? Can someone explain to me why these tag team championships even exist? It was like Bayley and Sasha Banks. We'll talk about Sasha Banks on Saturday because she is at a stalemate with WWE and might not be back ever. But can someone explain to me why for instance, yeah, I'll give you the tag team titles, but then I'm going to take them from you, and then I'm going to embarrass everything that you wanted for these titles by having them go on to the worst women's, the worst of the team, the worst women on the division as a tag team, and they're going to lose, 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 lose. What's the point? Just deactivate the titles and act like they didn't exist because they don't mean shit. After the match, Shane stands tall with Austin Page as we go to replays. The music interrupts. In the celebration, as Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville come out, and they just stare down, and that is that. Out comes Jinder Mahal. Whoopee! Why Jinder Mahal is on Smackdown, I don't know. The whole Superstar Shakeup, you kind of diminish the whole advertising the Superstar Shakeup if you're going to have Superstars moving brand the next week as well. Is anyone going to be moving next week? I don't know if I should know. We get a pre-recorded message from Aleister Black. He says, "You know who I am, Aleister Black, but do you know what I am? Because the name and the persona are not the same thing, nor should the aesthetic of the persona invoke any judgmental reaction." But it does, doesn't it? In these last remaining seconds, I can't even begin to explain the complexity of my tragic caricature. But as all good things, give it time, and I'm sure the world that you grew up in will have me condemned. I have no idea what the hell that means. Apparently, it seems like he might be going heel, which, in my opinion, would not be a bad thing. It would be interesting to see what Aleister Black as a heel would be. His entire time, literally on NXT TV, he was a babyface, and I never really saw Tommy End in the Independents, so I don't know what he did. But it just seems like Aleister Black himself would be a heel. Aleister Black himself should be a heel. And I'm just gonna have to wait and see what happens. I hope it doesn't turn into anything bad, but him as a heel would be interesting. Jinder Mahal was supposed to face off against Chad Gable before the match even happens. Lars Sullivan beats the hell out of Chad Gable, lays him out. Heads into the ring, takes out both Singh brothers as Jinder Mahal retreats like a bitch. Out comes R-Truth, he takes the beat down as well. Freak accident, running powerbomb, and that is that. Back from break, and we get another replay of what happened to Roman Reigns. Kayla Braxton is backstage with Roman. Reigns sells the attack from earlier, and Kayla asks Reigns if he accepts Elias' challenge for Money in the Bank. Elias says Elias got his licks in, but he hopes it's worth it because he's going to break Elias' jaw at Money in the Bank and will never sing again. So, as we all know, it's going to be the same shtick, different day. Roman Reigns is going to go out there. He's going to take a beating from Elias, Superman up, spear, Superman punch, spear, and that's going to be that. Roman's not losing at Money in the Bank. We go to the ring, and out comes Charlotte Flair, takes the mic and talks about what happened at WrestleMania 35 with Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch. Flair says Lynch pinned Ronda, which means Rousey lost Flair's title. Flair says Becky never beat her for the title, so she wants Becky 2 belts to come out and explain why she thinks she is the rightful champion to the Blue Brand title. And out comes Becky. Becky asks Flair if she understands what winner takes all meant. Becky says she didn't beat Flair at WrestleMania because she's too busy putting away Ronda Rousey, the woman who Flair couldn't beat. Becky goes on, and Flair brings up how Becky sees Charlotte every time Lacey Evans knocks her out on Raw. Flair says she stays in Becky's head. Becky goes on about how she's always owns and comes out on top of Flair. She says Flair is on her own worst losing streak ever. Flair admits that, yeah, that's true, and says she thinks Becky is scared because her days are numbered. Flair says Becky has everything to lose and Flair has nothing to lose. Becky wants Flair to clear the way for the likes of Bayley and Mickie James and Ember Moon. Becky wants new challenges, but Flair is the web that management won't untangle from her. They continue arguing. Becky says she will be happy to take Flair out once again after Evans. Out comes Bayley. Bayley says the Superstar Shakeup was supposed to bring out fresh start, fresh matchups, fresh faces, but all she sees is a rerun. Tell me about it. Bayley thanks Becky for the shout out and reminds her that she's been defeated. You may have beaten Flair countless times, but I know how many times you've beaten me. 0. Flair tells Bayley to get to the back of the line because this is still Flair's show. Bayley shoves Flair's hand off and tells her to earn a title shot instead of acting entitled. Bayley challenges Flair to a match to see who deserves that shot. Flair says Bayley's not even worth her time, and Bayley just smacks the mic out of her hand and gets in her face, and we go to commercial break. Bayley versus Charlotte Flair. This is, of course, two of the 4 horsewomen of WWE, so definitely one of the best matches you're probably going to see on the night. Bayley did look like a couple times she was going to win this match, but of course, Flair ends up winning this for same old going into Money in the Bank. Flair looks upset after Bayley kicked out of a 2 count. Fans try to rally for Bayley. Flair goes up top for the moonsault, but Bayley moves and Flair lands badly. I swear, if she would have landed just a little bit worse, she probably would have tore her knee. Bayley with a belly to back suplex for a 2 count. Flair takes Bayley out, takes to the corner and looks to take the knee out, but Bayley catches her in midair. Bayley goes for a sunset flip and slams Flair into the bottom turnbuckle for a close 2 count. Bayley goes up top, but Flair takes the leg out, sending her to the mat. Flair goes to the figure 4, but it's blocked. Flair comes back with a spear and gets the pin to earn a future title shot for the 1, 2, 3. Second verse, same as the first. It's just, this is gonna be the last time I want to see this. Becky's gonna walk out with one of the championships. There's no doubt about it. She's walking out of Money in the Bank with the Raw Women's Championship. She's not walking out with the SmackDown title, because she's going to Raw. Charlotte's going to SmackDown, is going to stay on SmackDown, and we can have different matchups, and we don't need to see Becky versus Charlotte anymore after this week. Caitlin Braxton is in the back talking to Becky, asking her why she's accepting the challenge when she already has a match with Money in the Bank. Becky says holding both titles means she plays double duty. She figures she will have Lacey Evans tapping quickly, and everyone knows she can defeat Flair. Becky says she's not underestimating her competition, she's just betting on herself. She says she will defend both titles at Money in the Bank. We're going to replay the Firefly Funhouse segment that aired on Raw. Definitely an intriguing way for Bray Wyatt to go, so I'm going to hold out hope to see it actually goes somewhere and actually does well for Bray Wyatt. There were people on Monday night or Tuesday morning who were shitting on this product, on this entire thing. Give it time, people. It's 1 week. 1 week. Give it time to see where it goes. We will have to wait and see. I can't wait to see what they do with Bray Wyatt at Bray Wyatt in this thing. Hopefully will be extended and we won't see that same segment again. Hopefully we'll see something new next week. I think they need to designate which brand he's going to be on, Raw or SmackDown. I don't want to see the same segment twice a week. I think that's ridiculous. Kofi Kingston versus Shinsuke Nakamura is the main event. Kofi Kingston has Xavier Woods and honorary member Kevin Owens. He does his usual introduction for the WWE. For the New Day, they head to the ring. Shinsuke Nakamura is out for the non-title main event. And this was a good match. Big O and Xavier were on the commentary desk. They had the New Day commentary desk for this match, so that's going to be a thing. This match is a DQ. They go to the floor and come back with Nakamura keeping control. Kofi finally catches and kicks a kick and begins a comeback. Kofi taunts Nakamura and goes to work. Nakamura turns it around with a snap German suplex, dropping Kofi on his head. More back and forth now. Fans rally for Kofi as he mounts offense again. Kofi misses Trouble in Paradise but hits an SOS for the pin attempt. Rusev hits the ring to break it up for the disqualification. After the bell, Owens and Woods hit the ring to make the save. They send Rusev to the floor. Owens launches Woods onto Rusev. Nakamura drops Woods on the floor with a Kinshasa. Kofi ends up dropping and pushing Owens out of the way to drop Nakamura with a Trouble in Paradise. Owens then hits, and this was predictable. I didn't think it was going to happen this week, but it did. Nails Kofi with a super kick out of nowhere. Fans boo as Owens stands tall and just rips his New Day shirt off. Starts beating the living piss out of Kofi Kingston. Owens tosses him out of the ring, follows up and launches Kofi into the barrier, sends him headfirst into the ring post. Woods is still out. Owens brings Kofi back into the ring. Owens brings the WWE title belt in the ring and holds it over Kofi Kingston while stepping on his head. He grabs Kofi's face and yells at him while he's holding the WWE title and is like, "Do you think this belongs to you? I hope you had a wonderful time. I hope your kids had a great time because I'm coming for you in this title." Kofi fights back for the fans' pop. Kofi unloads, but Owens easily turns him around and sends him to the corner. Owens goes to the floor for a powerbomb on the apron, but Woods runs over and hits him with a dropkick from the inside. Owens makes him pay with ease. Owens powerbombs Woods onto the apron to the fans chant, "Holy shit." As Kofi's trainers and officials are all to check on Woods, who is yelling at Pain. Owens backs up the ramp as we go to replay. Smackdown goes off the air with Owens looking on from the ramp. So, it was predictable. We all knew it was going to happen soon, that Kofi Kingston and Kevin Owens, like the whole Biggie getting injured was a blessing in disguise for this entire thing, because honestly, what would have happened if Biggie would not have got injured? How are you going to set up for a Kevin Owens and Kofi Kingston title feud? Because he was being a babyface, and quite honestly, Kevin Owens as a babyface to me does not max. So we are going to get Kevin Owens versus Kofi Kingston at Money in the Bank, obviously. It was unannounced tonight, and I'm sure we'll hear about it next week. What does this do for the New Day? I think this is gonna write at least Xavier Woods off till we get to Money in the Bank, or until after Money in the Bank, so we can have Kofi Kingston and Kevin Owens one-on-one, and no bullshit, no nothing in between. Smackdown Live, pretty decent show tonight. Pretty decent last night. Pretty decent show. Definitely a leg up on Monday Night Raw for sure, even though at Jinder Mahal. I don't know what's going on with Lars Sullivan, who his first feud is going to be. Again, to anybody wondering, is it okay to boo Roman? It's okay. It's absolutely 100% okay. If you are people aren't booing Roman because they don't like Roman. They're booing Roman because it's the same shit, different week, different month, different year. It's just Roman versus the Authority. Again, it's okay to boo. It's okay. But that was your SmackDown Live review for yesterday, April 23rd, 2019. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow for NXT, as we are building slowly towards the next NXT TakeOver, and of course Saturday for Unscripted. Until then, my name is Franz, and I'll see you guys later.